which is time versus money or money versus time. So this is where my dad always said, just do something, make a decision. I don't care if it's wrong. We can fix it later. But if you make no decision, you're going nowhere. And I was like, oh boy. So later in life, I heard something about you can't steer a ship. Now, ships turn slowly, right? I mean, you start steering it, it doesn't turn very fast. But if it's not moving, there's no turning. So even it's moving. Even if you go the wrong way, you start making some different decisions to slowly turning it the other way. There's only one way to steer it. You got to be moving. So let's get moving first. And this is where busier stylists have the advantage over somebody who's not doing anything because they're not moving. This is another sales pitch on doing free service. Because even if you're doing free work, you're moving. Now you can steer it. And how you steer it makes a difference. And boy, I could go forever on that one, but I could go with the low end where you're doing free and how to steer it, but I'm going to stick with the higher end for a minute because I want to talk about time versus money. This is where a busy stylist can take that small percentage of time and change their income drastically by changing something small. And they can say, what is the new hot, trendy, sexy product service that's happening right now? What are the people charging for it? I need to learn it, like you talked about earlier. So then education comes into play. So then you go get the training, you pay money to get trained, and then you start to do this service in the time you don't have, right? So you come in on your day off, you come in after hours, and you do it, and then somebody wants to schedule it. Well, in a week or two, you've got time because somebody didn't reschedule, and you fill that gap in with that better service. This is also why you should be raising prices. Now, raise all your prices, $5, $10 per service across the board. A couple of clients will quit. That's a good thing. You want people to quit so you can fit people in that will pay the higher price. So 80% of your clients, 90 probably, will just pay the higher price. A few quit. Now, with that 10% of the time or 20, you can fit people in with this new service you learned. For example, the girl I visited that didn't have time for hair extensions, she doesn't have time for anything is the problem. She should be raising her prices. She said, after COVID, we started raising our prices every year, and people still, they just keep coming, and they just pay it, and I don't lose anybody. I said, maybe you're not raising them enough. She goes, I know, right? No, I am right. I am right. That's the whole point. If you want to do a easier service or make much more money, it happens in both situations. Raise your prices a little more than you've been raising them because you want a few to be like, oh, that's a little much. I think I'll go to your assistant or that other stylist in the salon. Fine, because now I can fit hair extensions in where I'm making 4 times the money per hour than I was doing the highlight. So not that I want to lose them all, but if I could slowly move to where I was doing nothing but extensions, I'd be making 4 times the money than I'm making now, and working about the same, might even be a little easier work. So you don't have to do it all at one time, but you do it with an education, a price raise for the time to do the new service, and then slowly do that again and keep doing that.